Hello, everyone. We're coming towards our final lecture theme, and that's a greater kind of history of societies under COVID-19. So not focusing on a particular nation, even though maybe a good number of the material might be coming from the US, but trying to look how COVID-19 affects humanity as a whole. And that's called societal resilience. How do societies respond to a pandemic and how do they come back? So as we conclude, let's begin looking at this subject. Remember modernity onward, what is the difference between pre-modern and modern? Modernity says onwards and upwards with inevitable progress, thanks to all the innovations that give us the condition of mass transportation, mass communication, mass consumption. And really, what did the year 2020 represent? The year that kind of modernity came to a stop. And let's what we're going to look at was we're going to give a history of the lockdown, even though particularly focusing on the US, but not one, it could be anywhere. Okay. And I began this class with this song. Let's go back. The song that represented the end of modernity. Okay. If you don't keep track of time, that's it. You're not progressing because progress is temporal.
Oh, what day of the week it is, yeah. Is it Monday? I don't know. Is it Tuesday? I don't know. Maybe Sunday? I don't know. Every day feels the same. Every day feels the same.
I think it's Thursday.
Shut your mouth! It all feels the same. It all feels the same. I don't know what to do. So I'll just eat some snacks, get real fat, and stay in my room.
Okay. This is really cute. Nice. Actually, let's watch this too while we're at it.
La la la.
It's related to our class.
Why aren't you wearing a mask? Well, why should I?
I don't know about you, but rest assured that I like being healthy. No, thank you, germ. And I wanna see my loved ones from a distance too. So let me put this on so that could happen soon. You gotta wear that mask, so you rest assured. You gotta wear that mask. No, thank you, germs. Put on a mask, get nice and firm. You gotta wear that mask. No, thank you, germs.
What happens if I don't?
Well, you won't look as cool as this.
Anyway, just a funny website. All right, we'll stop. That was the two COVID related videos. Okay, let's go back to the lecture. All right. So let's have a recap. The following digital image gives us a recap of the year 2020. I say history of the year 2020 is digital. Okay. So how's 2020 so far? Okay. Well, let's look. There was almost a world war between Iran and the US, and Australia caught on fire. Definitely, that was a result of climate fluctuations. And when I'm saying definitely result, because one of the other areas I research is climate history. And the Indian Ocean had some abnormal weather patterns. Remember, the Indian Ocean circulates from Africa, India, all the way to Australia. On one side, it was causing the rise of locusts in Africa, these, awful grasshoppers. And then on the Australian side, causing a unusually high temperatures with high winds. And then Trump was put in a peach, and then some guy ate a bat, and now everyone is getting sick. Again, that's the stereotype of somebody eating the bat, but it's not. I didn't say it's an accurate history. It's a history of 2020. And there was a toilet paper shortage, so I had to wipe my ass with leaves. And 2 months of online classes. Look at that. Here we are. Look how long we've been with online classes. And Kim Jong-un died, and his sister became an anime star, but then he came back to life. And then the Pentagon confirmed UFOs exist, but no one really gave a blank. And now 30 million people are unemployed, and thousands of people are dying daily. And now murder hornets are invading. Okay, that was just the first half of 2020, remember? Okay, I'm not gonna read this out loud, but remember, this is what I asked you to do in terms of your paper, okay? Give a life, your kind of life under quarantine. The following video does the same. So what we're doing now, we're looking at the initial stage, a history of quarantine via digital means. And this is kind of a global history of quarantine. Sorry, I can only find this video on Facebook.
I don't know. What do you want to do today? I don't know. What do you want to do today?
Dad, where do you think you're going?
Beer with the guys?
Not right now, you're not.
But why?
Do you want the coronavirus? Because that's how you get the coronavirus.
Jason's letting his dad go.
Well, I'm not Jason.
Never let me have any fun.
And you need to wash your hands.
So, I've been inspired by Italy, and I figure, like, why don't we do this in New York? We're also neighbors out here. Let's be together, you know? I can show you the world, shining, shimmering. Shut the fuck up!
Oh, no, yes.
מי שנופל לו הכסף, אוי ואבוי, הוא מפסיד וכל השאר מרוויחים. בואו נראה מי הכי רוצה לקבל את הכסף.
האחרון והרביעי.
שאלה אותך יומניה, זה פעם אחרונה לזבל! מה אתה חושב?
Have you ever had a dream that
Thank you for coming, chin chin, chin chin, chin chin. Thank you, chin chin guys, chin chin, chin chin, chin chin.
Yes! Corona!
Okay. So that was just a glimpse of kind of what we're going to do in this lecture, is give a digital history of the quarantine through ephemera. Technically, all of these are primary sources. And this is the amazing thing about these primary sources. Remember the way I describe digitalism, it's the age of the easy edit. So basically in the age of the easy edit, you could take this picture, which was really from World War II, and then put any text that you want in it. In this case, the meme is the quarantine. Okay, this is a digital image that's been modified. So for most people, the quarantine began in March 2020. And just in terms of social, remember what I call this lecture is about societal resilience. What is Benjamin doing in the following is helping people cope with the hardships of the quarantine. And it's a good point, social distancing. You see, that's a misnomer, and it's because really people shouldn't, if you social distance, in other words, blocked yourself off from humanity, your mental health would deteriorate. Really, it's funny how that term emerged. It's really physical distancing. And then the word economic collapse, ecological renewal, that's what we dealt with in the previous lecture. Really, it's just another way to rephrase this. Reframing as a professor, modernity pausing. And that covers both terms. This is a lament for the pre-modern. These aren't actual toys. This is an artist who makes these fake toys and drops them off at various big stores like Target, okay? A leaf, the smell of a damp forest and he deliberately misspells it. So he meant to write, well, it was supposed to be gentle rain, okay? A nice breeze. And this is an exam image because if there was any image, okay, so let me give you the background and just remember, oops. The creator, her name is Ella Barron, and she wrote it for the magazine, it's a British magazine, the London Times Literary Supplement, okay? And look where she drew it, from her bedroom while self-isolating with COVID-19. So let's analyze it. Why is this important? First of all, okay? Let's look at the various kind of home screens. Okay, so first of all, let's break it down. Deliveroo, what is Deliveroo? Do you notice nobody's starving during these quarantines, or at least most people who are fortunate enough, I should say. A lot of people were starving. What am I kidding? There was a rush on food banks. So what is this saying? And of course, if you look, times literally submit the Wi-Fi, the phone signal. This is a British cartoon. And even in Britain, what do you have access to? Deliveroo, okay? So what is she doing on the right? Putting down her hair like Rapunzel, and of course, Deliveroo can deliver food to you in the age of digitalism, even though thanks to a mass-produced bicycle. What is the date? Now, keep in mind, in the UK, you read the time backwards. It is April 10th, 2020. How are you getting news of the weather? Digitally. Okay. How are you waking up? Digitally. You're getting your news digitally. You have your email on it, your mass communication, that's digital. How do you keep in touch with others? Via FaceTime. And then look at the Twitter, the bluebirds going free. You have your Instagram, Netflix, Kindle. What do all of these have in common? This is all a reference to the big tech digital apps, okay? Kindle, of course, is related to Amazon. Netflix is its own big tech agency. Instagram is owned by Facebook. Twitter is on its own, Jack Dorsey. This is really a testament to our digital times. This was a quarantine unlike any other because we had the benefits of digitalism. Now, why is this important for pandemics? So not only does it give the ability to be resilient and survive, get your news, weather, food, Kindle, books, okay. And then there you see the kind of image for the Amazon locker. At the same time, look at her pajamas. Do you notice they also look like a prisoner's uniform? Of course, because you are also a prisoner during the quarantine. And the only thing that's broken here, it's cracked, is travel. And it's kind of cracked like a black mirror. And I want you to think of the, now, the most important image is this. It's the camera, your camera, but it's also like a CCTV camera because at the same time, it's looking at you. And all of these apps are generating big data. And what is big data? It's just mass data that produces because we have these apps that we could use in the age of the easy edit. So if you're not familiar with the Netflix series Black Mirror, it's about entire series about digitalism or its dystopian aspects. Okay. And just to kind of show you kind of a Black Mirror-esque image, what was the Black Mirror in the Netflix series? It's a reference to when either your computer or your phone powers off, either you, not powers off, you know, but like is in that mode where, yeah, it's shut off sometimes or restarting and you can look at yourself in a black mirror, you see. Okay. Like if I were to look at myself now, I would see myself in a black mirror. And basically what does the series Black Mirror asks us to do is look at ourselves in terms of how digitalism has transformed us, okay? Do you see here also kind of what's ironic? Who is sending me this? One of my students who says, sorry, I cannot come to class because this is what I'm looking at. So in other words, she's looking at a black mirror. And what is that black mirror telling her? Your education is being deprived right now because you have no control over your Apple. The Apple is controlling you. Now, look at kind of the image of the prisoner. Okay, and let's go back to what we were talking about, the panopticon. So look again, the all-seeing eye is the camera. Look at the kind of outfit. And remember what was the panopticon was the idea of a perfect prison where one single guard from a central position could look at all the inmates and watch them at the same time. And notice kind of how the prison looks here. Of course, this is making joke on the panopticon, calling it, because Santa does have kind of a panopticon. At least that's what kids are meant to believe. Does your phone see you when you're sleeping? It knows when you're awake? Our phones are kind of like Santa. And then also think about how modern travel ended because of the pandemic. And that's why this is such just an important image, because it crystallizes the mass-produced phone. That's modern, that's capitalism. Do you see, capitalism took a hit during COVID-19, but not digital capitalism. Its profits skyrocketed. Amazon, Netflix, Apple, all the delivery apps. And this is the important thing of Deliveroo. Deliveroo was not only used to deliver food, some of these apps were also used to deliver drugs. Yeah, drug dealers were using them. Okay. The only thing that really, look at the app for your health, and this is what probably took a huge decline, was mental health. And look at the reference to travel, and this is kind of the Lonely Planet travel books, okay? This is where you travel to during your quarantine. Sometimes you went out to get supplies. Again, remember the meme, it's not Katniss, it's the quarantine. The need for underwear with days on it. And then you have another idea. People who were already living kind of quasi-quarantine lives. You get these in the next two images. As a professor, I know that was me. And then this kind of like ridiculous things that were mastered during quarantine. Now, again, look at, again, a reference to the digital, whether it's in Instagram. Okay. Social distancing on my yacht, we're all together, guys. And this is an exaggeration. Actually, I knew a douche. I knew an asshole. God, I knew a jerk who saying I'm social distancing on my yacht. And I wish it hit like a sea mine or like a boat crashed into it. Anyway. Me respecting quarantine, everyone on Instagram again, because on Instagram, what can people easily show you? How much they're having fun. And then what else? Okay, here's just a bad pun. You could read it on your own, no need for me to say it. And then sometimes with digitalism, she's a doctor. Anyway, sometimes with digitalism, it becomes too easy to make a mistake and send it out to the masses. Lockdown can go only 4 ways. You'll come out a monk, a hunk, a chunk, or a drunk. Chose wisely. Could be a monk and drunk at the same time. I'm not sure what they mean by a chunk, right? Who can enter? My next door neighbor's door. And in other words, how do I get access to this? Because of the digitalism, and it becomes a primary source and lives on for the rest of history, even though it was meant to be ephemeral. And remember when September came along? Again, what is it referring to? March, when the quarantines began, and also the time when we used to watch Tiger King. And of course, Tiger King is a reference to Netflix, digitalism, providing entertainment in the age of the easy edit. Even Netflix is an example where you can easily edit, you can interact with it. You could rate it, yeah. You can easily go backwards and forwards, rewind, fast forward. If none of you probably will remember the age of the VCR, the video cassette recorder, where that was not easy. If you wanted to, anyway, yeah, it was not easy to fast forward or rewind with that kind of format. Or the TV, where you missed the part, that's it, you're screwed. You'll never see it again, unless it was shown as a rerun. What about kids during the first quarantine? How did they fare? I just go into this briefly. So when you came into the world, this is what your baptism would look like. And socially distancing birthday parties. Now, there was one business that really took a hit due to COVID-19. You probably don't think about it, but the clown business, which I don't think is a big deal because the clowns, clowns are awful. But anyway, yeah, here you're just seeing the kind of adjustments that had to be made as a result of COVID-19. And let's look at just one child who did not prove to be resilient during the COVID. Okay, watch this. And tell me what is modern about her lament and cries.
Layla, where else do you like to eat?
No, where else?
Layla, Nando's is closed as well. We love Nando's. And KFC. And McDonald's.
Chinese closed too.
Chinese is closed too.
What? A delivery place.
All the deliveries. You've literally got to eat Mummy's cooking now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Pizza Hut's closed too. Where else did we eat? So we can't get no McDonald's. I know. I'm really sorry. I know, so do I. If only we could have had one more left.
Not sure if you know what Nando's is. Nando's is an Australian company. It's really big in the UK, usually for chicken. What is this kid lamenting? Well, something about modernity, fast food. What is fast food? Mass-produced food designed for mass consumption. And this little kid, I guess, is hooked on it. And that's why she cries and becomes not so socially resilient. Poor kid. All right. Oh, we already looked at this video, but just other examples of kids during COVID-19. And I don't know if any of you get this reference to the song Video Killed the Radio Star, but anyway. What about love during the forced quarantine? How did that Sorry. I've seen this 100 times. Oh, it still makes me laugh. Okay, but speaking about kissing and coronavirus, literally there was a book written called Kissing the Coronavirus. MJ Edwards lost her job. And so how did she end up paying the bills? Well, she wrote a book called Kissing the Coronavirus. And how can she make money on this book when all the publishers were closed? The age of the easy edit, she could upload it to Amazon. She was supposed to cure the coronavirus. Instead, she fell in love with it. Okay. Kissing Coronavirus is a steamy tale about forbidden love and dark desires come to life. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, if you have Kindle, it's limited, you can get it, but otherwise you pay $6.45 for this. And of course, we're looking at it via 2 digital formats. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, this was just a screen clip I took. I didn't buy it. I just took a screenshot for the sake of what's called your education. Okay. Oh, a couple of screenshots. You can read it on your own. No need for me to. God. Anyway, maybe if I develop feelings for COVID-19, it will leave. Okay. So in other words, Frex and Leo also had this idea. Or other things when you haven't caught the COVID, and you realize not even a global pandemic wants you. And sure enough, there was coronavirus themed porn. I know some of you are going to ask, how did I find out about this? News. Okay, I didn't go to Pornhub. Thank you. I found about this on the news, like everything else I did for this class. This is research, your education. No, I'm not laughing. Honestly, I'm saying what is true. I'm just noticing how this poor this is. Oh, I think it's a she. Her mask is steaming. Oh, okay. Love during coronavirus. Let's just read these on our own. Okay, so let's watch this video again. What is it called? Love in the time of coronavirus.
Usually.
And now our use, of course, we've been looking at episodes from The Daily Show, but this is, of course, now May 1st, well into it, into the quarantine. And of course, he's no longer in the studio. Let's watch. Okay. And finally, two primary sources that I signed for this week. Very short. But what can a dog teach about getting through the pandemic? And just in life in general. Live in the now. Look at sentence number 2. What we consider a happy, successful life is made up in our minds. It's a construct. It's a product of ego and a lack of fulfillment in other ways. And this article was written in September 2020. There's also a good documentary I recommend on Netflix. Sorry, this isn't product placement for Netflix, I promise. Your education, this class brought to you by Netflix. But no, seriously, it's called My Octopus Teacher. My Octopus Teacher. Who won an Oscar, but also has very good of these kind of life lessons from animals. And then finally, this language we use of mindfulness. Okay. And again, it's this notion of how to live in our present. And if you look at sentence 1 and 2, okay, what is it asking? To embrace the pre-modern. You see, being in the present would ideally mean taking your eyes off the TV, the phone, the computer screen. And basically it is this, the pandemic was miserable. I mean, across the board, unless you're Jeff Bezos, he did pretty good. But for the rest of us, what kind of reevaluations can this experience cause? Even for those of us who lost people, I lost relatives, for example. that's what these two articles are trying to get us to do, kind of reevaluate our lives. Okay, that's the first section. Then what I'll do is be recording, much easier. The last exam image, I believe so, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's it, was in that lecture. We're gonna look at some other collections of digital ephemera just to write the history of memes, the history of COVID. They're gonna be organized in a thematic manner, but let's end it here.